Hello, my pensive Pisces. Welcome back. As you know, I am Sachi the Scorpio, and I am here to deliver your guided twin flame soulmate reading for the month of July. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy that you send to me, the more energy that I can send to you. And congratulations, Pisces. You are not last anymore, nor should you ever be. I'm now doing the videos in order of whichever videos have the most likes from the previous video set. So if you like this video, then it increases the likelihood that your next video will come sooner. So for anyone new here, welcome. Today we're going to be using the Manara Erotic Tarot for the general energy into what's going on. We also take a look at the light aspect of things, and that's the lighter karmic lessons of what's going on and what is known to us, what is in the light. We also take a look at the shadow, and that's the darker, deeper, more difficult karmic lessons that we go through in these relationships and what might be hidden from us in the shadow that we try to bring to the light, not only to become aware of it, but so that we can heal it. So since I am recording this in Cancer season, this video set specifically, I am going to channel the emotional root of what is happening in your twin flame or soulmate journey. So don't forget, we are still in Mercury retrograde in Cancer, as well as Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Saturn moved back into its home constellation Capricorn on June 30th. We also have Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So for more astrology and other good stuff, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I will put the info in the description box below. And for anyone who needs to break certain cycles, please check out my Eclipse messages and Solstice cycle breaking tarot, which I will link at the end of this video and put in the description box below as well, because as you know, when you start breaking your cycles and working on your soul growth, that is how the twins unite. So we're going to take a look into your energy, your person's energy, and then also what the emotional root of the outcome will be for the month of July. So Pisces, during the cleansing ceremony, in this deck, what popped out was masquerade. So someone has definitely been wearing a false mask around you. And because masquerade, you know, is usually a ball, I feel like there's multiple people involved who have been masked and who have been influencing why someone is wearing a mask. And I have a feeling that it is your person. In the Manara deck, the Six of Water came out in reverse. That's a Scorpio sun. And what I got from that was that someone doesn't want to get out of the water. That card is showing someone trying to coax someone out of the deep end of the water. And I have a feeling that someone is just really trying to stay in that water, whether it's you who's stuck in the water or they are. I got a lot of obsessive energy from that because it was Scorpio sun. We also had the Four of Fire pop up, and that is Aries Venus. So that has to do with like sexual bartering or any sort of monetary exchange. And then in the clarifying deck, we had steel type energy come up, which is all about protecting your energy, right? Like protecting your aura, protecting your home, and things like that. So let's get started. What's at the emotional root of what is going on for our Pisces? I won't cry for you. Wow. So Scorpio actually got this, I believe, in their extended. So the I won't cry for you, I feel like this person has hurt you in the past. They've done a lot, and you finally reached the point where you're like, I am not going to cry for you anymore. You've hurt me. I've been stuck in hurt. I've shed my tears, and you have really decided that you are over with that energy. You don't want to emotionally invest in this anymore. And I have a feeling that that is why the other person is kind of that Six of Water that doesn't want you to get out of the deep end. All right, let's see what's at the emotional root of the other person. I'm just realizing now that I have a bunch of dog scratches. I just recently got a puppy. Ooh, wow, that wants to flip. So it wants to be stuck. Peaceful amongst thorns. So it was kind of in reverse. Like, they are fine being in the bullshit is what I'm hearing. Like, they're stuck and like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm sitting inside of a bunch of thorns and I don't give a fuck. Like, they find peace amongst hurt is what I'm hearing. They're fine with being stuck in this hurt, of causing the hurt, of being hurt themselves. They're stuck in, you know, in that cycle within themselves of that's kind of their normalcy is being in chaos and being in hurt. And it's not yours, and you don't want that anymore. It might have been yours in the past, but you're like, I'm done with this. I don't want to sit in fucking thorns with you, and I don't want to cry for you anymore. What's at the emotional root of the outcome for the month of July. So that wanted to pop up. Perchance to dream in reverse. So I think that you are very much letting go of this fanciful notion of what they are going to bring you, who they are going to be. You're no longer in that, you know, Piscean dream state, especially with your natal ruler, Neptune, retrograding in your home constellation Pisces. So you know, I feel like, you know, the blinders have been removed from your eyes in regards to this person. You know, we did have that masquerade come up in the cleansing ceremony, and I feel like they've been wearing a mask, but you're no longer in that dream state about them. You can see beyond their mask, and that's why you're like, all right, I'm not crying for you anymore. I'm not doing any of this. You can just sit in your own fucking thorns since you like the pain so much. And you are really just like, nope, I'm not going off of a dream, right? And like something that I've heard recently, or like a while ago, that's come back to me, and I said it to another sign as well, like I felt the same energy, is that like sometimes we fall in love with the higher self of someone, but you can't build a future off of loving just the higher self, right? You really have to tune into the 3D, right? The physical world, what's in the light, and be like, all right, well, this is the way you're treating me, and I can't build a future off of that. So you are definitely no longer, you know, in a dream state about this relationship whatsoever. I do also think that your dreams are going to be telling you a lot of information, but I feel like your dreams might be interrupted. You might have some issues with dreams. Document your dreams if you can. Write in your dream diary. I think that's very important for you if you're going to be receiving messages in your dreams. All right, so let's see. Pisces, you will not cry for them. Let's see what is going on in Pisces energy for the month of July. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for our sweet, sweet Pisces. What is going on here? Two of air, Libra moon in reverse. So I feel like this person, their emotions are a little bit unbalanced, and you know, that like this in and out type energy is kind of what kept you kind of stringing, like it strung you along, because every time you would pull back, they would come back in. And you have decided that you're done with that Libra moon energy, which is this back and forth. And, you know, it very much, of course, you know, we had that masquerade energy pop up in the cleansing ceremony, which is, you know, at face value, very much faking things. And this card upright has to do with, you know, trophy wife, trophy husband sort of thing, of like someone wanting someone just for like the looks of it. But you are very much not like that. Like, you do not want anything superficial. You don't want to, you know, like, I'm also hearing that you don't want a trophy for trying, right? It's like, you know, you might have wanted to have them because, like, they were, you know, the goal that you were going towards of, like, yeah, you know, I'm going to get this prize, I'm going to get this, but, and you might have even gone back and forth emotionally yourself, like, do I want this? Do I not want this? But you've really made an emotional decision here of like, all right, my emotions have been swinging back and forth like the Libra scales because they have been in and out, it looks like. And you've decided like, nope, I'm done. I am not going to cry for you anymore. All right, let's see. What is the light aspect here? What's the light aspect here? What's the light aspect? What's the light aspect here? Oh, I wanted to come out in reverse and then flip into the upright. So we have tranquil using fly. Yeah. So I have a feeling, you know, tranquil is very much tranquility and peace and things like that. So I feel like in the light, like you did not have this tranquil energy because you weren't flying, right? You decided not to take off in flight. But now, you know, after you've made this decision, some of you have already made this decision of like, yep, nope, I don't want my emotions to be going back and forth about this. And now I'm coming to the conclusion, I'm not crying for you, right? Some of you have already reached that. Some of you will reach that in the month of July. But you will find this tranquility, and it will be when you fly, right? When you fly off. When you leave this situation, you will find this tranquility. Fly can also indicate some sort of travel. We have some water here, nice little houses in the background, so some of you might be traveling. It says, no matter where in the world it goes, it knows where its nest is, so it never gets separated from its trainer. Yeah, so I think that you have very much, you know that even through separation, what's yours will always be yours. And I think that is really what has helped you detach from the situation of like, all right, no more in and out of this shit. I'm out because I don't want to be sad about this. I'm not going to cry for you. And it's like, you know that you're still connected. You know, no matter where in the world you are or this person is, you know, you're never truly separated from your trainer. You know, and trainer always means the other person when I use these cards. So you're never truly separated. And of course, like, even if there is physical separation in the light, in the 3D, in the physical world, you know, that's an illusion, because spiritually you are always connected if this is your twin flame, right? So even if it's your soulmate, you still know, you know where home is, right? But home is the feeling that you get when you're with your twin. So I feel like a lot of you are dealing with your twin flames. But yeah, so you know, but you know that you need to fly here because you need that tranquility. And no matter where you go, no matter what happens, you do know, you know, what's yours has always been yours and will always be yours. What's the shadow here? And I think that that has helped you put to rest this Libra moon energy of back and forth, because you're done with that. What's the shadow here? Okay. Snorlax using, kind of coming out stuck. Stern snooze and sleepy press. So yeah, again, your sleep schedule could really be being interrupted here. Stern snooze, I feel like your sleep schedule, your sleeping habits could be very much interrupted. You might not be getting as sound of sleep as you usually do. And sleepy press, I feel like you might feel very sleepy and very exhausted and things. And yeah, energetically, this is exhausting. So I'm not surprised here whatsoever. And, you know, Snorlax is known as the Pokemon that sleeps a bunch and then eats a bunch. So this really could be influencing your sleeping and eating habits. It says it's not satisfied unless it eats over 880 pounds of food every day. When it's done eating, it goes promptly to sleep. Yeah, so you might be stuck in a cycle of just kind of eating and sleeping most days. And, you know, energetically, that's kind of, you know, yeah. It's just, these are both normal types. So this is normal type energy, right? Like you're leaving this so that you can find your tranquility. And you know, now you're just like, all right, now that I'm out of that chaos and my emotions aren't everywhere, I just want to sleep and eat and just kind of chill and, you know, like being calm for a while is what I'm hearing. You just want some calm. We do have 880 coming up, 880 pounds. So if you see 880, I think that's a sign for you, especially because we have 80 up here as well. So I would pay attention if you see that number, 880, you know, document what you were thinking of previously to that, or where you're seeing it, what's it a part of. So I think that is very important. All right, let's take their energy. They're peaceful amongst thorns, so they don't mind being hurt. That looks like they're normal. They're just chilling there. And this is part of their karmic cycle. We do have, you know, the wheel behind there, so very much Wheel of Fortune energy. And they're just stuck. They're stuck in this cycle of pain is what I'm hearing. All right, what else is what's going on in the twin flame soulmates energy? What is going on here in the twin flame soulmates energy? What is going on here One of Water. So they only emotionally expose themselves a certain extent. Like this card is just showing one little emotional titty, right? One of Water. They want an emotional new beginning with you. They do. They are trying to expose themselves, but only a little. And I feel like that's part of the pain that they're stuck in, and that whole masquerade energy from the cleansing ceremony. They keep themselves masked because they only know how to expose themselves emotionally just a little bit. And they're in so much pain, and that's why, because they can't emotionally regulate properly because of the pain that they are stuck in, and how they find peace with just being in hurt. And I'm guessing, you know, we're in Cancer season, so, you know, not only of emotional roots, what we're tapping into, but ancestral trauma. It's like, you know, the emotional root of them, how they were raised is just to be in constant pain and to find peace with that pain. So then they project that pain onto you because that's their normal, right? And then they only show a little bit of their emotions because they're so used to pain. What's the light energy here? Victini using me first. So yeah, they're selfish. They're selfish. They put themselves first above everything. So, you know, Victini, when I first read it, I got like vindictive. So they could be very vindictive. You know, they feed themselves first before they feed somebody else. They're very selfish here. This is also in the root chakra. So again, at the root, you know, what makes them feel safe? You know, the food, the water, the sleep cycle, everything that keeps them rooted in their own emotional world, in their own world in general, how they were rooted, how they got brought up, where their roots were at, you know, the concept of home. Again, Cancer season theme is they had to put themselves first because they're just used to this pain. And they might have been, you know, in a household where their parents were very selfish, so they took on those selfish types of behavior. So just be aware of that. It says, when it shares the infinite energy it creates, that being's entire body will be overflowing with power. Yeah, the thing is, they need to know that when they share this energy, if they stop putting themselves first, then they can have this infinite energy. They can really, you know, share in the power with you when it shares. So they need to learn how to share. And I feel like they might just, I mean, it's in the light, so they might recognize this, that they need to learn how to share, especially share their emotions. But, you know, there's some issues there. But the thing is, another thing about this person is they know they're going to win you. At least they think that they are, right? Because Victini, I just learned this recently, Victini is a Pokemon known for victory. And like legend says, that even if they don't battle with you, but that they're just in your Pokemon party, which is like the Pokemon that you carry around with you, that you will have victory. What's the shadow here? So they're a little pompous too. They're selfish, and they think no matter what that they're going to get you. They're very much steadfast on this. What's the shadow here? We have Trevenant using Nervous Seed, and Armaldo using Guard Claw, and Explode using Ambush. Yeah. Yep. So we have Psychic type using Nervous Seed. Like I said, you know, roots, where they're rooted. We have this tree energy. And this Nervous Seed, I feel like very much they, you know, they inherited anxiety because, you know, this is a psychic type, so this is what's in their third eye. They get very, very nervous about this. It's like if they don't put themselves first, then they get really nervous. And if they emotionally expose themselves too much, they get really nervous as well. And, you know, because it's seed, it's very much something that was inherited, you know, from their parents, because they're the seed of their parents. It says, using the roots as a nervous system, it controls the trees of the forest. It's kind to the Pokemon that reside in its body. Yeah, so one, I feel like they try to use the emotional roots of this situation in order to manipulate you. you know, like they really try to get to you, right? They use the roots as a nervous system to control. So they like to, you know, control your nervous system, which is your, you know, response to them, of this chaotic energy, this in and out. And I feel like that's how they did it. They messed with your emotional body by stirring up your nervous system to get you into this state of chaos, right? This Libra moon of going back and forth and not being able to fly away and not having your tranquility. But you've decided that you're flying so that you can have your tranquility. And also, you know, it says it's kind to the Pokemon that reside in its body. So I do think, again, there's a lot of mommy issues that this person has where they felt the need to put themselves first because of their relationship with their mother. I think it was very painful, and like that their mom was only nice to them, you know, when they were doing exactly what they were told. Right? There's a lot of manipulative energy here that's in the shadow in their third eye, which makes them feel it's unsafe to emotionally expose themselves. So they just put themselves first and are very selfish. And then we have Armaldo, which is a fighting type using guard claw. So again, they guard themselves. The way that they fight is by staying guarded and only exposing one little emotional titty, right? They keep themselves very, very guarded. I get heavy Scorpio energy here. It says, protected by a hard shell, its body is very sturdy. It skewers prey with its claws to feed. So heavy Scorpio Cancer energy is what I'm getting here. But again, protected by a hard shell. They definitely have their guard up, and that's also part of the mask that they wear. And then we have Explode using ambush. So I feel like, you know, when they realize that they can't control you, when they're not controlling your nervous system, then they explode, right? And that's to try to get your nervous system to go back into that emotional chaos. You know, they try to ambush you with this, you know, temper tantrum is what I'm hearing. They like to yell. They like to cause chaos. It says, its roar in battle shakes the ground like a tremor, or like an earthquake, has struck. Yeah, so they don't know how to emotionally regulate because they're so used to being in pain, and they only know how to show their emotions in one little emotional titty way. And that's if you're not doing exactly what they want you to do, and they're not psychically controlling your nervous system, which is not only your emotional body, but your responses, your physical body and shit, then they cause this problem, right? They throw a tantrum, and likely it's because that's what their mother did, right? Like, their mother probably was not very loving to them and also had a hard shell, which is how they learned to be that way. And, you know, if they didn't listen to what their mom said, they weren't nice to their child, and they would scream. And, you know, especially if the child may have, you know, said something to them like, I'm not feeling good. Well, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, well, I do this, I do that. You know, trying to go through the pain Olympics or compare, you know, trauma or whatever. Like, their mother's a piece of work is what I'm getting. So just know that they're just living out their behavioral cycles that have been passed down to them. But I think that they're starting to understand that they need to learn to share. All right, let's see. So the emotional root of what's happening in July is perchance a dream in reverse. So you're no longer having these blinders over your eye. You see through their mask. Let's see, what is the outcome for the month of July? What's at the emotional root here? So we have the 9 of Fire in reverse and the Knave of Air. Yeah, so it looks like the Divine Feminine is not going after, the Divine Masculine. This is, you know, the Divine Feminine going after what they want, but in a way that the Masculine is a willing participant. There is a card here that is when the Divine Feminine is going after, you know, the D of an unwilling participant. But this is very much, you know, the Divine Masculine wants it, and the Divine Feminine is going for it. This is Sagittarius moon, so very much sexual satisfaction through or emotional satisfaction through, you know, spontaneous action, whether that be sexual or not. It's just like spontaneous action of love, lust, intensity, passion, you know, anything exciting, basically. But it's in reverse, so you're like, no, like, the divine feminine is no longer going towards the divine masculine. Very much like, I don't want to spontaneously, you know, do anything emotionally towards this person. And we have the Knave of Air, which is, you know, dancing, putting on your headphones, you know, or AirPods in, like, oh no, you can't hear him, you know, that meme or whatever. This is very much dancing to your own beat. I feel like you're going to be listening to yourself, your spirit guides, your ancestors, and really, you know, just listening to music and like, whatever, I'm not, you know, answering, I'm not doing anything. This is very much, you know, dancing to your own beat and doing what you want to do here. All right, let's see what the light aspect is. We also are going to take a closer look at these energies in the extended Pisces. We'll take a closer look into your energy of, you know, how you've reached this conclusion and, you know, guidance that we can get in order to keep that emotional stability. We'll also look deeper into them of what their issues is, right? We're going to go deeper into that root of their mommy issues, it looks like, their emotional issues. And then we are also going to look into how we can manifest the highest vibrational timeline for you for July. But let's see, what is the light aspect of this energy? Whoop. Going right to the Two of Air, that Libra moon in reverse. We have Litwick using Trip Over and Shelter using Clamp. Yeah, this is, you know, a flame Pokemon. So the twin flame's going to come and try to interrupt that emotional balance of yours because, you know, they're going to try to get you to trip over them. Right, this is a psychic type, so it could be, you know, astrally that they're going to be doing this, or energetically, rather than maybe not coming physically towards you. But it is in the light, so for some of you it's one way, for some of you it's another way. But they are going to try to cause this emotional imbalance again. They might bring you flowers or something like that, or give you a candle, maybe. It says, while shining a light and pretending to be a guide, it leeches off the life force of anyone who follow it. Yeah. So it's gonna, this person's gonna be like, oh, my guide said this, or like, oh, you need to blah, 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 like, you know, listen to your guide. But like, they're gonna pretend to be a spirit guide or something like that, right? They might send you, you know, stuff. It might be interrupting your dreams, actually. They might send you messages and dreams that try to trick you into thinking that it's your guides, right? Trying to get you to interact with your twin, but they're just sucking your life force. I mean, hey, gotta talk about it if it's there. And Shelter using Clamp. So this is some Cancerian energy, and Clamp, and again, these are coming out stuck. So, you know, this person is stuck in this energy. But again, like, they're going to try to lure you in, but I see you just like, nope. AirPods in, headphones on. I'm not listening to shit. The divine feminine is not going towards the divine masculine. Like, right, you're not acting on emotional impulse with the Sagittarius moon in reverse. You're done acting on emotional impulse because you don't want your emotions to keep going back and forth. And with Clamp stuck, so this is water type, so it has to do with emotions, and that clamp on emotions, I feel like that's them trying to clamp emotionally to you. It's very much that emotional codependency issue, which they inherited from their parent, most likely their mother. It says, clamping onto an opponent reveals its vulnerable parts. So it uses this move only as a last resort. Yeah, they are going to try to clamp onto you in any way they can because they know your vulnerable parts. They want to get you where you're vulnerable. And this is a last resort for them because they feel you detaching. And I very much feel like this is, for some of you, they're going to be giving you, you know, candles or flour or whatever, or they're going to psychically try to trick you into that it's your guides messaging you, you know, to get back in contact with them. But that's them trying to suck your life force and trying to emotionally clamp onto you. That's their last resort, is to try to trick you in that way. Whew. That's a low blow for a Pisces, because Pisces, you know, like, you're the most, you know, dreamy psychic energy of them all. I would say you kind of always have one leg in the other realm. Is how I want to put it. That's why a lot of people can't understand y'all. I have a Pisces Lilith, so, you know, I get it. But how dare they use, like, your gifts against you, honestly. Whew. All right, what's the shadow here? Trainer using stealthy hood in reverse. Yeah, so trainer means the other person. With stealthy hood in reverse, they're not going to get away with this. Well, obviously, because you're listening to this. So now you know, like, you know, stealthy hood, they may try to cloak themselves, right, with that veil, that mask that we know that they're wearing, but it's in reverse, so that's coming off. I mean, you already see through it, but they're not going to be able to veil what this is. You're going to know that, like, okay, that's not my guides. My guides aren't telling me to do that. That's them trying to emotionally attack me or, you know, manipulate me. Can't get psychic shit past a Pisces. You shit me? All right, what does Pisces need to hear about love right now? What does Pisces need to hear about love? If you've never had a broken heart, you truly never learn to love. So yeah, it's true. You know, the way that we get access to the force of love, you know, that force external to ourself, it's very much an experience, not something that you just have for someone, right? Until your heart chakra is ripped open, you really can't experience what love is in its purest form. So just remember that and be thankful that it has allowed you to awaken, that you are, you know, spiritually awakened, and you are on your soul journey of healing and things like that, because eventually they will be on it too. But I'm guessing if you're here, you're the more awakened twin, and I do understand that that's a difficult journey, but a broken heart is part of it. With you, I lose myself. Without you, I find myself. Then I strive to be lost again. So this very much has to do with that emotional codependency. They, you know, like, they lose who they are when they're with you. And I think that's on purpose, right? Because they don't really like themselves, is what I'm getting. So they like to attach to you so that they can lose themselves, and that you so you can be enmeshed. And especially if this is your twin flame, you know, that's a very common thing, because, you know, it's the other half of your soul, right? The other half of your shared soul. And so when you're together, you lose your sense of self. Right? It's very much that energy, that Pisces energy teaches us in general of, you know, we're all one. There's no such thing as self. You know, we're all linked and stuff. The twin flame journey teaches us that. So I feel like that is an issue here. But again, without you, I find myself. So this is what I'm feeling, is that separation is very much needed in order to find your sense of self. So that way you can come together and strive to be lost in each other again and feel that sense of unity and oneness. So again, Pisces, please like, comment, and subscribe. The more energy you send me, the more I can send back. For those of you who need a little bit more into these roots and how to manifest the highest vibrational timeline, please follow me into the extended. The link is in the description box below. For the rest of you, I am sending you a lot of love, a big hug, and a kiss on your third eye. Mwah.